Tēnā koe, tēnā koutou. Hi guys, welcome Aries to your June 2016 taroscope reading. Hey guys, where have you been? It's like you're not that interested in your astrology perhaps, or your tarot readings. So I am getting around to doing yours now. It is the last of the 12, because I guess you weren't all that interested by appearances on the last May reading. But we'll go ahead and do the same reading in the same format. Your card shuffling has come to an end, and we will lay out the cards and see what is in store for you for June 2016. My gosh, that's probably a first. That whole week is cups. I'm going to have to readjust the camera, I'm sure, to fit the cards in. So we've got quite a bit of energy going on in here, quite a full reading. Everyone seems to have had a pretty full-on reading for the month of June, probably just because it's a fairly active, busy month anyhow. Just let me rearrange my camera for a minute. Okay guys, I think you can fairly much see all of the cards now. So we have, let's count your major arcanas first. 1, 2, 3 in a row. 4, 5 major arcanas. And they've literally lined themselves up quite interestingly, almost like a T, a T junction, quite sort of significant, almost as if it's like the Hanged Man if he were to be in the reading, which he's not, but you get that feeling of some junction point or something coming along. So let's see your court cards. 1, 2, 3. These two have turned up quite often in some of the other readings right next to each other, as if they're a pair or a partnership or a team of some sorts. So quite interesting energy that, and it's been replicated throughout the reading for the month of June. Anyhow, let's go to the top left hand corner and start up there, and the beginning of your month starts with that magic beautiful card, the Wish card. So this is a feeling of the propensity for things that you are desiring or formatting, imagining, bringing into manifestation, for that to occur. It's a feeling as if part of the universe is collaborating together to bring something into the manifestation or the physical manifestation stage. So it's a beautiful card to have, and it's a great way to start your month reading. It often suggests to us that be careful of what you wish for, because it can literally occur. So choose your dreams and desires carefully and focus on the positives, and leave out any negative energies that might be surrounding those dreams. It is a lovely card to come into your reading. It also generally bodes quite good health, good emotional status, good feelings around love, friendships, partnerships, things like that. We come to the card next door, and it appears to be almost a juxtaposition of the first card. So it's the 8 of Cups. So we go back one. In fact, we go 9, 8, 7, 6. Wow, that's really intriguing as well. Lots of patterns within the readings this month, and lots of synchronicities. I think already quite a few of the viewers are making really intriguing comments about the layouts of cards and where they're appearing and reappearing, and the feeling of the meanings of them. So to get all of those cups in one row and all of those sequential numbers like that will have some sort of relevance as well. So we come here to the 8 of Cups, and we see this guy walking away. We're feeling a little bit sad, as if he has invested time and energy and emotions into something that he has decided to leave behind. And often this can be relationships, and sometimes it can be romantic relationships. I see the ecliptical moon in the background, and I think to myself, this could have been something that started when the eclipses were in March, and it could even go back to previous eclipses as well. But when we leave things behind, we're always heading into the new, and I notice it's right above this card as well, which is often about leaving things and transpiring to format new energies, new programs, new people in your life at a much better formatted level, and it's a better construction. So as you move or leave something behind which you could have invested time in, understand that it wasn't balanced anyhow, it was out of balance and something needed to shift. So you move into the future with this new prospect, thoughts, paradigms and directions. It's a great card in as much as when every door closes, a new one always opens, and he shows the promise of that because he is on the journey already. We come to the next card, we're coming down one again, and we get to the Seven of Cups. This can literally mean that there might be many types of offers around you, and some again can be emotional or friendships or even business related or commercially related connections. So the idea here is to be aware that some of these are not going to suit you, and they could seem really good. So you could get swept away in the emotion of, oh my goodness, look at all this I have to choose from. I could have this or that or that. But the thing is, probably only one or two of these options are going to be worth your merging with and interacting with, because the rest could be what you would call a folly, and they could lead you astray and down the wrong path. So it's time when a card like that comes out and the other seven is connected as well, it's time to be vigilant and to watch carefully people around you and choices you make. Now, I'm surprised at the number of times this card has come out for the June readings, and he often gives this feeling of derisiveness or something hidden and underhand, so covert energies and people around and attitudes and stuff going on. So I'm beginning to think, is there something global in June that happens? And oftentimes we talk about protecting your intellectual information as well as your banking and your personal information when this card is around. It's weird, he's been in nearly every single reading, so maybe there's an international hacking thing that happens in June that a lot of people are affected with, or a scam, or just some overall large global underhandedness that comes to light. But it would pay to keep your eyes out at a personal level as well. If you are being surrounded by plenty of attraction and offers and opportunities, be careful what you choose and think wisely. Go back to this one. Remember how I said, be careful what you wish for, because you may manifest your dreams. So make sure you pick the right one. We drop down another heart level and we come to the Six of Hearts. And that's a lovely card. It's about fond memories and harking back to the childhood times when you might have had exuberance and fun and happiness and laughter. You may be re-meeting with some of these people that you haven't seen for a long time that have been associated with your past, and they could be friends or relatives. It could be a school reunion or some sort of connection along those lines. Generally it's considered quite happy, loving and harmonious. The other thing that the card can suggest is that people come back to you from your past. Now, sometimes for some of you, this can be a past love of your life, and you may be considering establishing some form of connections with the past person in one way or another. Again, it might pay you to be careful how you choose to think about it, because those two are connected. So, think, do you want to go back to the past? Is that where you're headed? Or do you have your sights set into the future? And if you're making decisions about going back to the past, make sure it's able to be incorporated into your present and into the future projections. We come to the second line, and this is a full-on line because we've got the three major arcanas all bumped up in there. The first one is the Fool. And I always love the Fool. He's about new journeys, new beginnings, new promises, quite often at the spiritual level and awareness, exciting times. It's definitely about you as opposed to anyone else in your life. You're sort of taking the time to grow yourself, regardless of what other people think or their desires. So I call it me time, the Fool card. You can have this desire to make changes in your life, and they can be at many levels: physical, emotional and spiritual. Often he has quite a connection to the spiritual realm. You've got a few suns and moons appearing in your reading, so there's definitely some sort of connective energy there going on. We come to the next card right next to it, and it's the Tower. And the Tower, as we know, is about new beginnings again and getting rid of things that no longer suit you. That's why these two are partly connected. So often it is relationships. Now sometimes this can be business foundations as well that start to crumble or pull asunder, or partnerships that have been collaborative before that are just jarring now and aren't making, they're not really providing any positive reasons for continuing. So oftentimes it suggests to us that the basis of the partnership or relationship wasn't suitably forged at the very base, and it hasn't grown well over a period of time. Now sometimes this card can literally mean a sudden occurrence, as if it can even be a really big flare-up, just arguments or whatever. You see this power coming in at the top and literally tumbling those people out of the tower. So it's quite often like an epiphany that happens. You suddenly get this wake-up call and you go, God, this just isn't working anymore. I'm out of here. Bang, I'm off. Consequently, you probably are off. So expect change in June, and a change in direction at who knows which level for each one of you individually, whether it's physically, emotionally, or within relationships. Job and career is also a possibility. We come to the World. You've got so much. This is all about endings, this is all about beginnings, and this is all about change. And there they are, bang, right there in that second week of June. So the World card talks to us about the end of a cycle and going into a new cycle. There's a degree of propensity for travel in this card as well, because sometimes it's a big trip, like going on an overseas trip or around the world, and sometimes you can meet foreign people that you will connect with, and they may not even speak the same language or have the same principles or philosophies as you. So it can be the beginning of this whole new journey lesson about life in general and living on this planet and understanding how others live as well. It's a great card. It's full of quite a lot of in-depth meaning. We also have a degree of sexuality here because she is pretty much ungarnished, and she's on this journey and she's ready to make this move into this new step of the new her as well. So lots and lots of newness in that particular week. I've touched on this, really, what it means already. This could even be associated with some of this energy over here. Someone who perhaps is just not really looking out for you the way they should. Someone who you don't probably need in your circle of friends, or isn't respecting your integrity values, things like that. So just watch out for them. At the same time, it could be yourself also wondering what direction you're wanting to make in life and having a difficult decision, choosing whether to stay and leave something or to go and move on to something else. But if you are trying to decide this, doing it covertly doesn't really work, and keeping things above board and honest is the better way to do it. We come down here to the Three of Swords, and look, we see this whole connection up here through these three. So there is a possibility that some sort of relationship or friendship, or possibly even a romantic perspective, is taking a hit here. Now these cards don't have to mean that it is the complete end and that you're walking away. They can mean, quite simply, because everything has duplicity and more than one meaning, they can mean that things need drastic change for it to continue. So sometimes that Three of Swords can be interpreted as saying there is a pain and an emotion, hurt, around a heart contract in your life. So that's usually a very emotional connection with another person. And if you want to keep this going, you're going to have to communicate and remove the pain from it so that you can work through it positively and try and heal the differences. So don't always think when the Three of Swords arrive that it means that everything is finished. It could mean that you are in a situation where you need to do intense therapy, or have some sort of counselling or mediation around a relationship to get it back into the going forward stage. The other thing that this can mean is that there is a separation coming and a moving away of a close romantic liaison or a close friendship. Doesn't have to be romantic. Sometimes there are 3 people involved. So there is the potentiality of this card that there have been 3 people, so sometimes that refers to the potentiality of affairs as well. Now we come to the Judgment card, and again he's kind of sitting under, this is what I said before about this T alignment. They're kind of really getting in here in June for you guys, bolstering things along and making some changes. The Judgment is about listening to things in your life. So possibly communication could well be effective here. Listening to the messages that are coming through your spiritual connection, through your own intuitive abilities, your gut instinct in particular, your spirit guides, the angelic realm, and synchronicities. And sometimes these messages that come, and when you actually finally get the aha moment, you'll go, God, oh, thank goodness for that. I see it now. I see what it's all about and where I'm meant to be and what direction I'm going in. So again, it can be quite a card of changes at a very personal level. We come here to the Queen of Swords, and literally, to be honest, the King of Wands. They're both looking at each other and they're connected. So this could be a couple in your life. It could be yourselves, because this is the fire sign energy and a air sign energy. So whether or not they're yourselves in a relationship, or whether they are people that just happen to be there in that 3rd week and they need, you're either connecting with them one way, so they become people that you engage with either socially or you chat to, or there's possibly talks or arrangements or something going on. So this is usually your air sign, and that's your fire sign energy. Some of you, this may be a new potential partner coming in that you find attractive as well. But I do get the feeling that somehow these two could be connected anyhow in the whole picture of everything that's going on. We come down here to the 6 of Pentacles, and this is your only Pentacles card as well. So, oh no, there's another one there. This last week in June has the feeling of watching your money. This one here has 2 meanings. It's often either you are this person and you are giving out to someone in need. Now, giving out doesn't have to be just financial. If you think about it, it can be giving support, nurturing, love, help, offerings of your knowledge or your physical abilities, anything along those lines. But it is the gift of giving. So in fact, it's actually quite a nice card. It doesn't look that nice, but the energies around it are almost perfect, because the card resembles the energies of receiving and giving, and that's actually what makes life go around. Without the ability to do both, either receive or give, the whole system would cease to be. You would cease to grow, we would cease to exist. So it's actually quite a powerful card. And whichever place you find yourself in, whether it's the receiving or the giver, know that everything is cyclical and you will eventually end up again in the opposite position. So whether you're giving or receiving, show the gratitude for being in that current position. Receiving is also wonderful. It means that, again, it doesn't have to be receiving money, but it can be. But receiving from other people, you're receiving their love or their support or their energy or their time or their appreciation. So if we tend to look at things from the positive as opposed to the negative, you can literally turn any supposed negative energy into a great positive. We come here to the last major arcana and we see the fabulous Sun. And again, this is a really wonderful card to have in a reading. You've got 2 of the top cards, the Wish card and the Sun card. The Sun is about happiness and being energized, being connected to Earth, also the universe's innate energetic power source of life and understanding and spirituality. So the Sun is really magnificently happy, optimistic, generous, full of playfulness, Also fertility and sexuality and possible travel as well with the Sun card. So it's a lovely one to have. It buoys up energy. It's a supporter and a nurturer. We come to this one here, the Page of Swords, kind of hanging out with his mother possibly, or something along those lines. Another air sign, can be younger, often turns up, has a bit of wild energy and intellectual capacity, sometimes throws ideas at you. So there is the possibility that there could be something new coming, a project that you start thinking about, or you're offered, or you're involved in, and it's sort of like quick and fast paced and something's on the move. Either that, or he is a younger air sign person, and again you are paying attention to him, or he's around you, or there's some sort of connection and contact. The last card for the month here in the is the Five of Pentacles for your June card, moving you into July. It's not the nicest of cards. It's a bit grey and dreary, and it's the feeling of feeling as if you're not that happy with your financial state, or you're a bit worried about it, or that you're leaving. You see the finances are in the background and you're leaving something, so you're moving into somewhere new but not that happy. Sometimes in the southern hemisphere for us, in the winter time, it can mean flus and colds, or just feeling a little bit worn out or down. For the northern hemisphere, I see the guy with crutches, and I sometimes think, oh, I wonder if you've got, watch your legs and things, or some of you may even have a minor physical thing that you're looking after. So what the card says is treat yourself well at this time, nurture yourself, be careful and be gentle. Don't push yourself too hard. Take a bit of time out to recuperate and regenerate as you move into July. So there we are, Aries. It's a really interesting reading for so many of these wonderful synchronistic layouts and formations, so much around the heart and the emotions up here in this first week. Quite a lot of big change going on here in this second week. And then this T formation down here, and it ends in the Sun, which of course is a great card for it to end in anyhow. This one here with a little bit of, as I say, potential rearrangement of a relationship, and you can possibly choose as to whether it's going to be an ending or whether you decide to change its direction and its format and lead it forward into a happier space or place. So there we are, Aries. Quite a deep reading at many levels, and I think if you take time to go over the cards and think about the situations yourself, you will be able to format what they all mean, and perhaps these people who turned up in it as well. So thanks for tuning in, guys, and I appreciate your comments and your likes, and for subbing, and I hope you enjoy the readings. As I say, you didn't seem to click too much for the May reading, but perhaps you were all uber busy, as Arians often are. So ka kite anoa, much aroha, namaste.